Hello all, thank you very much for watching this video guys. I hope you all are good today. So in this video today we are going to discuss about the different types of useful parameters for a database. And this video today we are going to discuss about PostgreSQL parameters and what are the important parameters and their values, how you can simply go and check what are the workload related parameters, what are the memory related parameters, what are the performance related parameters, what are the connection related parameters, these kinds of parameters and their values, how you can change, how you can optimize your database performance. This all these things we are going to discuss in this video to to simply demonstrate and illustrate this performance related parameter related stuff. I have prepared a word document for of all of us, so without wasting much time I am simply going to explain you how you can simply go and check the performance related parameters. Before going to start the session, I would like to highlight over here. So please subscribe this YouTube channel and like this like if you like my content. If you are find this useful, so please subscribe and like this YouTube channel, and this will help me to motivate to keep on posting all the tech related videos guys, and so keep engaging, keep learning. So without wasting much time, I'm just simply going to explain you how you can simply how you can simply use all the parameters groups. So so this is the uh, Word document I have prepared for you. So PostgreSQL database parameters actually. So this is the open source. I previously explained about this, that this is the Postgres database, and this is open source database. You can simply go download and you can use it. This is the fast and production ready database actually. You can simply go and use it in your Microsoft or Azure or AWS database related services. You will simply find it. So in AWS you will find Aurora compatible Postgres versions, and the different kind of Postgres related versions are there. So in this video, we are going to focus on only a parameter related things actually. So parameters control how database behaves in terms of memory usage. We have already discussed about this. Performance tuning, connections, logging, how logging mechanism handle replication. What are the parameter settings you have to change in order to replicate your data from one database to another database. Then what are the values you have to set over here. You can simply control from parameter settings. Then obviously query optimization. If you want to optimize your query performance, you can simply go and check your performance settings. Another parameter related stuff, that is auto vacuum. Here it is like the auto vacuum is the process where you will clean up the unnecessary and long running queries. Then right ahead logging. So this is the wall parameter related. So the security related parameters are there. So this is the important thing, that is these parameters are mainly stored in PostgreSQL.configuration file actually. So in AWS, whenever you are going to use the Postgres database, you will not find that the config file. As we all already aware about, Postgres is a managed database by SQL. So this config file you cannot be go simply go and modify it. But in order to in order to modify the settings, In order to change the parameter settings, you can simply go into the parameter groups. You will have a parameters group, depends on the version of the database, and you can simply go and simply change the parameter group and then custom parameters settings over here. So this is, I have captured one screenshot for all of us. So this is the Aurora Postgres parameters I have selected in my previous sessions. I have launched one parameter group, created a DB, Aurora Postgres 9.6 DB crystal parameter group, and in parameter group you can edit it, and here you can simply go and change the different values regarding your parameters and settings actually. Keep in mind, we have two types of settings over. One is dynamic and one is static actually. The dynamic parameter values are will automatically take in place, will automatically be in effect. But when it comes to the static values, whenever you change the static values, here we can see the static values, you will have to reboot the DB instance actually. Then your change value will be in effect actually. So this is how you can simply go and change the parameter settings in the Amazon RDS section actually. So you will find in the left side in your database, you will in your dashboard you will find a settings called parameter groups, and then you will have to change the settings accordingly actually. In the later videos I'll simply demonstrate you how you can simply go and check the parameter settings. In the upcoming videos I'll be definitely I will walk you through the AWS console. But as of now we will just simply going to simply explain, going to understand how the parameters settings and how the parameters group and parameters are there. So this is, so important Postgres parameters are there. So first parameter I considered very important, that is the maximum connection. Number of connections are allowed to your databases can be controlled using this maximum connection parameter uh, setting actually. So this will define the maximum number of clients can be connected to your database. So this is the main line actually. So how you can check in your database once you logged in into your database, and you if you want to check what are the possible number of connections, what are the how many clients can be connected to your database, you can check using show maximum connection command in your database actually. Once you hit this command, you will get this out, like the maximum connections, like 200. Here is the set values for this. So this is how you can simply go and check the maximum number of connections for your database. So for this, maximum number of collection use cases increase for application with the many users. If you want to increase your, many users database, you can simply go and modify this value in the parameter groups, and you can simply, use it. Obviously, if you have a number of users, concurrent users, then your DB consumption will be high, your RAM consumption will be high, and performance will in the compromised state actually. So keep in mind, what are the number of connections can be allowed, so that we have to set it consciously. Again, important parameters value is memory related. That is memory dedicated to PostgreSQL caching. So this is the shared buffer, another memory related parameter group actually. So this is to the what are the once you have executed your query, and that related output can be stored in that shared buffer parameter in the shared buffer memory actually. So this is the specific memory in which you have to store the executed query, and their result can be stored in shared buffer actually. So this is the mm, you know uh, work of this shared buffer parameter value. So this is the recommended value 25% of the system RAM. Use cases that is improves your read performance. But then work mem is the another parameter. This is the memory related parameter settings value. So this is used for sorting, hashing, and aggregation, related things. So this is the parameter group. Uh, you can see applied for operations per queries actually. Then again, we have our fourth parameter group, that is maintenance work menu, used for maintenance tasks, that is auto vacuum, create indexes and alert tables actually. So this is the very important memory related maintenance related parameters, parameter value actually. So effective cache size estimate of OS cache available for PostgreSQL. So we all are already aware of what are the operating what are the system related things can be stored in that OS cache. So this is the effective Postgres related parameter group actually. So different kinds of parameters values are there. So this is wall level, control wall information level, So this is for a replication. So whenever you want to activate the replication between two databases, let's say you want to replicate active replication, then you will go with the this parameter is useful over here. Once you want to replicate the data between two databases, then you simply go and change the value here in your parameter group actually. So so this is the replication related parameter value. This is the time between checkpoints.